Okay, we're on.
All right.
Don, sit down, please. Oh, I'm gonna have you move over just a little bit to the left. There you go. There we are.
Happy Friday.
Yes, happy Friday. Happy Friday.
Long week.
How you doing?
Excellent day.
We're sitting there talking about our golf game, and I think it's really important that we somehow or some way make sure that people know that
We're no good.
we're no good. We're not doing too good.
We are the PGA Tour, our families will start.
So much to talk about.
Yeah.
And
What
we've kind of waited for this to happen. So let's start with the primary, to the last couple days. I have to say this, and I just want to say it. Number one, I'm glad that Jeremy Zellner lost, because he didn't deserve that position the way he got it. And John Rivera asked for that position long before, said he was gonna run for it long before the election in February that I went through. And they poo-pooed the idea, Jeremy poo-pooed the idea because he wanted to be the senator. So
And it was for a few months.
that's, but you wanna know something? He didn't, the problem with him was the way he did it.
Yes, it left a bad taste on both sides.
It was awful.
And Rivera did something that Dan Gagliardo did. He went door to door, even on primary night until 8:45. He was knocking on doors.
That's right.
You did over 12,000 doors. I think he did something like 14,000 doors. I didn't see Zellner campaigning, just
Yeah.
on the ads.
That's right. And you know something? $2 million
Big.
for a primary.
For a
Two-
Senate seat in
for
the
a Senate
state of New York,
That's right.
what goes on down there that's worth that kind of money?
That's right. And look, you said it when we just started talking. The problem I have is, how much money did Jeremy spend of taxpayer dollars on all those flyers that he sent out?
Absolutely. As soon as he got to Albany, he
That's right.
started sending them out
That's
every
right.
other week.
But you see, you know what it is? You have to be careful what you wish for, because that's exactly what happened to him. And look, he didn't deserve it. And in my opinion, it worked out the way it should. John won. John should be the senator. And John, I hope he does a good job. I really wish him the best. I really do. My point here is that you can't rig the system like that and think that people don't know it.
They see right through it.
That's right.
There's,
I think it's pretty sad though, too, that in our election, we had over 30,000 people vote. In this election, only 18.
yeah, the voter turnout was under 20%
It
again.
was awful.
And the voter apathy, people better wake up, because otherwise we're gonna become a socialist state. And I don't wanna see that happen to the Empire State. I see, I'm hearing more and more companies wanting to get out of New York. I see more and more friends as they retire, like me, say, why should we stay in New York where there's these high taxes, where you can go to Texas or Florida and other states, Wyoming, where there's no state income tax, and there's no capital gains tax, and there's no estate tax. As I've said before, the state of New York, if they could figure out how to do it in Albany, they would tax the air we breathe. They just believe in tax and spend, tax and spend. You never hear about them talking about cutting anything. Now, Jack Kemp, who was a very great fiscal conservative, but a very moderate when it came to social programs, he believed in the safety net. So do you, so do I. People are down on the luck, don't have any money, we gotta help them. That's the way it should be. Treat your brother like you want to be treated.
Okay, you might push back on what I think about this. I actually think, number one, that this whole socialist thing, they're blowing it out of proportion, okay? Number one, you really believe that those people that are gonna go to Congress, and you think they're gonna be able to get their way? Look what's happened with the squad. They can't get anything done.
Oh, they're in trouble.
They're
They're
in trouble.
corrupt.
That's right. And here's another thing, Don. I think that people should be waking up. I think that what this is gonna do is, I think it's gonna wake up the population. I think it's gonna engage people to go out and vote. But
Hopefully.
they've gotta have something to vote for. That's the point. You can't vote. You cannot think that people are gonna come out and vote if they think that the same thing's good. The reason why there's nobody that is interested in coming to vote is because they don't like what's going on and don't think that their voice matters.
Well, people living in poverty in the city of Buffalo, on the east side and the west side, hear these candidates talking about how they're going to reduce grocery prices, they're gonna reduce their rent, and they buy into it.
Of course,
And
why wouldn't they?
Yeah, why wouldn't they?
Why wouldn't they?
But it's not, it's gonna be harder to make it happen.
No, it's not. Mandami, look how much he's promised. What's he doing? Nothing. He got front freeze. He got it passed by the common council. Okay, go ahead. How are the landlord's gonna survive? What are you gonna do? He doesn't even have he doesn't have a clue
I agree.
what's in store for him. Okay? And if what this is a wake-up call to Hakeem
Oh, he's
and,
next.
and, and, and
Schumer.
Chuck and Schumer. This is a wake-up, and Gillibrand.
They're gonna
this-
go after him.
That's right. This is a wake-up call to them. You had the opportunity to do something that was good, and you just sat back and rested on your laurels and thought that this is the way it's always gonna be.
Well, all they do is criticize
That's
Trump.
right. That's
But
right.
they don't have any programs, any
And
ideas.
look, and we've talked about this. You're gonna blame the state of New York, the state, the actual state of it, on the Republicans and Donald Trump. We've had the same leadership for the last 20 years. It's been Democrats. So you can blame the federal government as much as you want. You're still spending more. You still need more. You're fiscally irresponsible. And not one Democrat, not one, ever stood up and said, hey, wait a minute, are we doing something wrong? And had the guts to do that.
I heard on the way over here that the Democratic National Committee is helping to fund some of these Democratic socialists, their campaigns.
Really?
And they're saying that the Hakeem and Schumer have got to wake up and tell the Democratic National Committee, we cannot fund socialist Democrats.
Why do you think they're doing that though?
Why?
Mhm.
Why is the DNC doing it?
Yeah, why they
Because
do
the people want it.
I actually think the DNC is doing it because it's different. It's different than what the Democratic Party is about now. And they're looking for different. And they think that this different approach, a socialistic approach, or letting men compete in women's sports, they're thinking that this is the wave of what the American people want. I think they're misguided.
I agree.
I think they're misguided. And I also think that the DNC leadership is abominable. It's awful. They're putting people in there who are not Democratic. They don't have Democratic values. They have progressive, liberal values that they think we are going towards as a country. We're not. We're not. Think about it, Don, think about it. If we could get the independents and we could get just the independents, forget about both parties. If we could get the independents to win based on the election results,
You have it.
you'd win.
I
You
also,
would win.
I heard three other things that are interesting. Number one, there are predictions out there that Zellner is done as the Erie County Democratic chairman.
I think it's long overdue.
Okay, he's gonna get bounced.
He should.
The people don't like the way he did this. And, go ahead, Stace.
I do.
And, they didn't like the way he put himself on the throne.
Yeah.
Wasn't a democratic process. He became a party boss. And people don't like that. I don't care if you're Republican or a Democrat.
But Kringle didn't get rid of him.
Well, you know what? Kringle never ran for office, but he had a lot of proteges. And a lot of those proteges had very successful careers in Erie County. Tony Masiello,
Right.
Dave Schwartz, a whole bunch of them, and they did very, very well. Many went to Albany, where Kringle had a big position in the state house, legal counsel to the Democratic majority in those days. But the Democratic Socialists are putting up some charismatic candidates. And the problem is, Fidel Castro was very charismatic, and he said to the people of Cuba, you want to talk about failure of socialism, we're all going to be equal and we're all going to share in the wealth. Well, they are equal and they all shared in the poverty. And that country is hurting from here to kingdom come. And the people of Cuba do not want to live under communism. And I don't think we want to live under socialism. Every socialism program in England has been a big disaster. Boy, they are so highly taxed in Great Britain beyond belief, not just on income tax and property tax, but if you buy a new house, and you take out a mortgage, there's an additional mortgage tax that you have to pay. If your children go to a private school, they're out of the public education system, you have to pay a penalty for taking them out of the public schools and taking them into a private school. So besides the private tuition, you got the private tax on that tuition as well. Wow, it's no way to live. I don't know how, well, they have some great paying jobs over there, and that's how people don't complain about it. And there's not an uprising like you would think there would be, as there, I think there would be in this country. But I just see these blue states, the Florida, the Texas, just booming in the future. California and New York is gonna wither on the vine.
I think, well, I think what's happening right now is that they got a little bit of wind in their sail.
Yeah, they got mojo.
Yeah, they do. But you know something, Don? Solve a lot of different things that come down the pike. The Tea Party was real excited, and the squad was real exciting, and they did all stuff. The reality of the situation is that it's one big bureaucratic mess. And basically, people come in with these new ideas, thinking that they're going to get people energized. The people that are energized are the youth. That's who's energized.
We're our future.
That's right. So here's the problem. When they can't produce what they want, they can't do it. You will see that this will fall off quick, because when you start taking things from the youth, like we understand how things are taken away from us, when that starts happening, the reality will set in. Charismatic, Mandami, I just think the guy just smiles too much. He does. He's always smiling.
He's always happy.
Yeah, he's always smiling. Everything I know is right. I'm the smartest person in the room, and this and that, and I'm winning, and I'm doing all this stuff. And quite honestly, he's in the districts that he won in, those 2 district seats, are the most liberal districts in New York. Okay, didn't win all over. The rest of the place didn't. It wasn't like that. So I don't think it's going to be as bad as it is. I think we have to worry about it, but I don't think that it's as critical of a mass. With regard to Jeremy Zellner, his time is up, and he should go. He should be man enough to get out of the race and not run and go and do what he has to do. Okay? Unfortunately, he's not going to go anywhere. I don't think they're going to kick him out, and I think he'd go out screaming. And I think there's going to be a big fight here.
Who would replace him?
I don't know. I don't know enough about the Democratic system.
I don't either.
All I can tell you is that one of the reasons why I was intrigued to run against Jeremy was because Jeremy's not a nice person. He's not a nice guy. He wasn't nice to people. There's hundreds of stories out there about who he was and what he did. He didn't deserve to win. Face to face, head to head, he got pummeled. He got pummeled, first thing. Second of all, what he did to Carl Palladino was a disgrace. He accepted his money and then gets on there and calls him
A racist.
a racist, a bigot. He calls him all that stuff, but he took his money. What a hypocrite you are. Okay? And this has nothing to do with Carl or anything. I'm just saying that goes to show you the character of the man.
Well, you know Carl Palladino.
I do.
I know Carl Palladino, and he's not a racist.
You want to know something?
He's a good guy.
Yeah, regardless, this really is, the fact is, this is about his integrity as a person. I mean, Jeremy takes your money and then he goes and talks about you because he was desperate because, Rivera said that you took the money?
Well, that's the kind of guy you don't want to be in the foxhole.
No way,
You know,
no way, no way. So that's why he lost. He should have lost.
I think people saw through him.
100%. 100%. Well, we saw it in our campaign. We saw it in our campaign. We swung 68% of the independents. Okay? That just goes to show you that people are unhappy with the way things are running and they're operating. Hence why a socialist group will do better, because people don't like what's happening on the federal level.
Sounds a fresh idea.
That's right. And we don't like what's happening on the state level. I mean, Kathy Hochul's been an abomination. She's been awful.
Well, when she was a congresswoman, she got a 10 rating from the
Yeah,
NRA.
yeah.
And she got to Albany, she started drinking that Democratic Kool-Aid from New York
Absolutely.
City.
And now it's about staying where she's at.
She's
So, that's right. But, okay, but there's the point. she's an abomination. She's done an awful job, okay? Trump, if he would just keep his mouth shut, and we say this all the time, you might be able to say some of his ideas are good, but it's not the way it's going. So now we got these two factions. We've got this far left, far right, and all these people in the middle they don't think that they're being heard. So a person like Mandanda comes up and says, you're gonna get this, you're gonna get this, you're gonna get that, until he gets in there. Now,
He can't
you're
get
gonna,
to you.
yeah, what are
He
you gonna
can't
do?
deliver.
What are you gonna do?
Well,
And you piss off people like, Jamie Dimon, and you're like, are you crazy?
really. And
Doesn't make sense.
If Wall Street leaves New York, you'll see the collapse of Manhattan.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And I don't know how realistic that is.
Well, they're building campuses in Texas and in Florida.
Oh, they are.
Oh, yeah, JP Morgan Chase, Jamie Dimon has, 10,000 employees now left New York to be put in Texas.
Wow.
Wells Fargo is down there. They've done a whole series on 60 Minutes on the financial company institutions who are leaving New York, still keeping a presence there, their headquarters are there, but the people behind the scenes, their employees, are in these red states like Texas and Florida.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, and you want to some, again, shame on New York.
Well, if you had an opportunity to put people down there
Why not?
tax-free, no state income tax, and the polio could be 10 times bigger and stronger, you'd do it.
Of course, of course.
There's the incentive.
And I tell my wife this all the time. Why would you want to drive us out of here? People like me or you or anybody, why would you want to drive us away? But that's the feeling. You don't, like, sometimes I have to turn the news off now because it's so depressing to think that this is not getting any better.
My primary care physician tells his patients, don't watch the news. I said, thanks, doc, when I was working. But he says it causes people to not be able to sleep.
Yep.
Because it raises your anxiety.
Yep.
But you have to understand what is news. News is usually something that's disturbing
Right. Well, okay.
in terms of
Well,
crime.
I'm gonna say something to somebody who's been in the news business his entire life. It never was like this. You get up, you wait till 11 o'clock, you sit there, you listen to things, you'd have snippets of information, which sometimes is good. Hey, this happened over here, this happened over there. Sometimes you'll get the depth that you need. That would be my only issue about that. Today, you have too much news.
That's 24/7.
Constant. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. So you are constantly on this hamster wheel. At least before, when you were doing what you did, we would wait up, we'd find out what's going on, we'd read the newspaper, right? We'd be able to have enough time for us to make an educated decision. Now, what I find fascinating is we can get more information now with our internet and things like that. How we take that information and how we're able to disseminate that information and get the truth out to the people is really the secret to success in anything that we do. I would love to be able to, I've heard more people talk about Iran and what's going on over there. You know what I want to hear? I want to hear the people on the street.
From Iran?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
I've
want- I wanna
seen
see that.
snippets of them.
I want to see that.
Yeah.
I want to see what's going on because they'll tell you, like you and I, they'll tell you what's actually happening.
I want to know what's actually in the memo of understanding. How many billions are we giving them?
That's right. Well, again, I think, you're right, but I think that's, if you knew, if I knew today that what's happened in Iran is getting a groundswell of the people getting what they want.
It isn't though.
Yeah, but that's my point. If I knew that, then I would say this is a good idea.
Me
This is
too.
great, right?
I'm right on board.
Right. On the flip side,
The people aren't getting it.
that's right.
It's all going to that one.
That's right.
Islamic
That's right.
fundamentalist
That's right.
regime.
That's
They're
right.
gonna live high off the hog.
That's right.
The people of Iran will have nothing.
Unless they revolt, unless they
But they
overturn.
can't- They don't have weapons.
Well, but again, see, but if you talk, I've talked to some of my Muslim friends. And you know what they tell me? It's much different on the ground. It's different over there. I want to know that,
In terms of what?
like the way that people think and act. Like, of course it's an oppressive regime. Of course it is. The people themselves that go out there, they are being treated much differently. That's the stuff I want to see. Because if they are really truly killing people, killing thousands and thousands of people, let's see it.
Well, they have,
But we don't
they
know,
have no public hangings.
well,
Trump asked them not to and they stopped.
but they'll tell you that that's not really happening now there, out there. This is all propaganda.
Well, they've cut off their internet so the people can
That's
show
right,
you what they
exactly
want.
right.
They can't communicate with each other.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. You and I, you have to think that we're reasonable people, that we have a reasonable sense of a decision-making process. in
How do
our
I
head.
think that?
Right, so, but here's the point. If you don't have all the information,
How do you make the right
How do you make
decision?
the right
I
decision?
agree with you, but you hear different numbers being thrown out about how much they're going to get. It's gonna be better for Iran than it was under Obama. Obama gave them billions at
Right,
one
right.
time. He tried to appease them, thinking that would work, and Trump went in there and took out the highest command.
and I think the negotiations are tough, don't get me wrong, I think that a lot of this, we're not privy to a lot of what's going on over there, because I think that they're holding on by a very thin thread.
Well,
Yeah.
Pakistan's negotiating it, right? So what is the interest of the Pakistani leadership? Is it to help the free country or is it to help the Muslim
Right.
community?
Right,
Okay, so I think
Right.
there's a bias in
I
that.
agree,
And I don't think we're learning all the truth. I don't
Right.
think, Secretary of State Marco Rubio is telling us everything we need to
and I
know.
think he's an ace.
I think he's an ace too.
I
I
think
think he's
he's
gonna
an
be the
ace.
next president.
I think he's an ace. I think he's the perfect guy for the job.
Yeah.
I think that as time progresses, you're going to see them standing on their own, doing things that they believe. And I personally believe that Trump is waning. I do. I think that he's waning.
I have a neighbor who's from there. She says I'm Persian.
Mhm.
She doesn't want to say I'm Iranian.
Right?
Iranian. She says, I'm Persian. It's a beautiful country. And I've seen pictures that tell me it is a beautiful country. And it's different than some of the other Muslim nations. I think it has a lot to offer the world. It's part of the breadbasket of early world,
Mhm.
if you look back at the history. But I don't understand, well, I do understand because the Shah was so corrupt that the people turned on him.
Mhm.
And then they went with this Islamic fundamentalist, and I don't think the people really are happy with that, but they don't like the corruption under the Shah.
That's
And
right.
I don't like corruption either,
That's
you
right.
don't like
That's
corruption.
right. I had it explained to me, the Shiites and the Sunnis,
Are different.
but they explained it to me. And this Muslim friend of mine, he's a doctor. My conversation was great. And he explained things and how it is over there and what the differences are, right? And how they come together and why they're apart, right? The point I'm making here is that we're so very fortunate there because we can be whoever we want to be. We're free and we can do all that. In most of the world, it's not like that. People are not allowed to do that because they've been raised a certain way. This has been going on for 50 years. A whole generation.
Yeah.
The most incredible part is the younger generation now has access to all these things we're talking about, the internet, TikTok, all these things. So they're seeing things over here. Look at the World Cup. Look at how those people are loving America. Look at that.
Did you watch the game last night?
No,
I
did we win?
No, we lost.
We lost.
Yeah, and we had the first goal, but there's an enthusiasm
Yes.
about the World Cup. that I've
Yes.
never seen. I'm not a big soccer person.
Right,
In Europe, they call it football.
right,
I was with Pope John Paul II. We gave him a Buffalo Bills jacket.
yeah.
And we said, football, oh, soccer. And we go,
Right.
no, football. But he took it anyway.
Well, but that's the point, you're right. But look at the enthusiasm. Those people thought that we were different when they got here. They thought we're wonderful. That's the point. That's the point of out
We're
there.
putting on a good show for him.
Yes. Well,
We welcome him.
but we're good people. I think
Well-
we're generally good people.
But, yeah, I agree, but on the Norwegian team, they imported their own food. Because they don't like the fact that we put all this additives in our food. And that's why you and I have a gut.
They really bring in their own food.
250,000 pounds, I'm told.
So what was the final score of the game?
I think it was 2-1.
Oh
I
my
went to
God.
bed before it ended. And I
How
woke up this morning.
sad.
Yeah, but we're not done. We're still alive.
Are we?
Yeah, that's what I'm told. In council, well, we're not gonna win the World Cup. You know, you don't win when you have a loss. on your
Lost,
account.
right.
And I don't know enough about it. It was the first time I watched. I'm seeing it on TV all the time.
Pretty exciting.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know, Don, I can tell you this, that the more that time progresses and goes on, I can tell you that I am absolutely confident that there is a mistrust, excuse me, throughout society about how we do things. And I'm not so sure that it's not because we're constantly questioning everything that's going on, but we're questioning because we don't think that things have been right.
On that point,
Go ahead.
I just want to let you know, according to the Amherst Bee, which I think is a great weekly, state legislators have come home with some bacon for the wastewater treatment center. 5 million. And you know the stench over there, you know the problem. It's an old system.
Yep.
They've been trying to maintain it, but it's outdated, but now they're gonna upgrade it. So hopefully we can treat our wastewater properly. We're talking about sewage. And I was happy to see that. I don't care if it's Republican or the Democrats that
That's
came
right.
home with the bacon, they came home with it. And it's about time.
That's right.
I don't know what took them so long.
I'd like to know when the 5 million is gonna be done. I think they're gonna be putting a system in place. Last estimate I understand, when I was reviewing this as the supervisor candidate, they need 25 to 30 million dollars.
Well, Uncle Sam better step up to the plate,
100%,
you know?
100%. They need to. This is something that I believe is a state and federal issue.
I
They
agree.
should go get all the money from that they can.
Yeah,
Personally.
before we give any foreign aid.
Yeah.
Take care of this problem. There's problem on Lake Ontario near Wilson.
Yes,
They
yes.
have the same sewage problem there.
Yep.
There was a triathlon that had to be canceled because the bacterial level in Lake Ontario was too high to let people swim.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my youngest son was gonna be in a triathlon down in Wilson and Oakett, and they had to cancel the triathlon or the swimming section of the triathlon because Lake Ontario was too polluted.
See, and those are the things I think on a general basis, they should be, I think that government's.
Should be on the front page.
That's right, and I think government's responsibility are that. They need to make sure that we have clean water, we have clean air, we do all that stuff, and they've got to put money in to refurbish these things that are happening. And with the technology now, it's incredible what we can do. But we've let them go bad for so long, that's why it costs so much money to do it. And when you go and put brand new lights in as opposed to, if you would have told me to put the $40 million
LED?
LEDs, or put that $40 million into our sewage plant, I was into our sewage plant.
Amen.
You would have paid for taxes for that to make sure you're.
No
water.
debate at all.
I have, it's just really funny, when somebody was just in there, you said to me before you got here, and this person is really high on the water, really watches the water that they drink. I don't know if you know this, I have a water system here, osmosis, right, in my facility here. I got the same system in my house. I can't drink any other water now, because the difference is so different that, and I feel better, but we use this water for everything. We use this water for whatever we give our dogs, when we're cooking, we do it all. And the difference is substantial. It's huge.
It makes you wonder with the high rate of cancer in Western New
That's
York,
right.
if it's something in the water.
That's right. Well, that's right. And that's the thing. So I think this is good, the $5 million. I think it's good. I hope they use it, do what they need to do. I hope they get it somewhat cleaned up. But I think that, like I did this, this machine makes it so nice. So I don't even have to get ice out of my refrigerator anymore. So, but I feel better. My wife, my kid, they all feel better because it's such a different taste. So different. So, who knows? Who knows?
You're making me wanna go out and buy that.
And
system.
wait to see that. Well, I'm telling you, I called up UBS and I said, can I put one in my house? They went, sure. So they put the exact same unit. Instead of having in a water cooler, got rid of my water cooler, got rid of the spring water, and I put this in there. Now, I probably was spending $100 a month, same cost. Same cost, and it makes ice, which I think is great, because I love it cold.
Makes you wonder,
It does.
when you see an ice cube melt and you see the residue,
Yes,
yeah,
mine doesn't do that.
okay,
And I actually had a water tester. Mine's part, it measured, I was under 6. my regular drinking water at home was 190. The bad stuff.
That's scary stuff.
It is, it's very scary, it's very scary. Anyways, but,
I hope they put it in Tim Hortons, that's where I get my coffee.
well, we make a coffee over here.
You know,
It's delicious with it. It's I'm telling you.
and you put it in all the restaurants?
No, not yet. I haven't
Okay.
done that yet. I don't know how remember, when you put the system in, it takes a lot of water to get what you want at the output. So you would be using a lot more water than you normally would be. So you have to get a system, much bigger than this. Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, enjoyed it.
Okay, Bill.
I hope we solve some of the world problems.
But we always solve them, Don.
But it's gonna be interesting to see in September whether or not Zellner's still there.
You know, I gotta tell you,